What's up, guys? This is RG, and I'm going to give you another high definition broadcast. And it's from a lot of my subscribers. They wanted me to do a Barbarian Whirlwind PvP format for you guys in this type of format here. So it's the skill calculator. You can follow along if you'd like from us.battle.net. And you guys go over there and check it out while I'm talking. You guys could put in the skills and see if you maybe want to do a different skill set. So I'm going to go ahead and go start it up. It's going to start out with Frenzy, which is a Fury generator, and it's a constant Fury generator, meaning that it does not have a cooldown, so you can constantly spam it. So they buffed this Frenzy, so it's going to give you 3 Fury per attack, and also it is going to be able to stack up to 75% attack speed if you stack it up to 5 times. So you're going to have that 75% attack speed for 4 seconds as long as you keep on putting it up, which means you have to attack a target to get that frenzy back up, that buff to stay on you. And you want to equip that with the Maniac, which is the Crimson Runestone, and it's going to increase your damage by 16% per stack. So each frenzy effect is going to increase your damage by 16%, meaning that you will have a total of 80% damage and 75% attack speed on you as long as you keep this frenzy up. So when it's going to fall off, meaning it's going to no longer be affected on you, I'm talking about the buff here, you go ahead and hit him with another frenzy and it'll be up for another 4 seconds. Alright, so the next one is going to be Leap Attack, and we're going to gear that with the Death from Above, which is the Alabaster Rune. And this Alabaster Rune is going to land with such force that enemies suffer a 70% chance to become stunned for 3 seconds. So you'll be able to leap onto them, and this is going to be your mobility. You're going to be able to get across the map and land on a group of enemies or an enemy, and each of those enemies that you land on have a 70% chance to get stunned. So you want to be able to be mobile and stun them at the same time with this leap attack. The next one is going to be Ground Stomp. So you're going to definitely want to be able to stun people and in an AoE radius every 12 seconds. So it's not so much for the Fury generation, it's more for the stun. So what we're going to do with that is equip it with this Alabaster Runestone again. And it says enemies in the area are slowed for 7 to 9 seconds after they are recovered from being stunned. So after they recover from being stunned, they now have a 7 to 9 second slow on them. So they're going to be slowed after they're stunned. So this is perfect, and you can actually, it synergizes with this Threatening Shout. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off to this Threatening Shout. So this is basically a debuff, and it's going to debuff the damage for 50% for 15 seconds. So any enemy within 25 yards is going to be debuffed, which is it reduces his damage by 50% for 15 seconds. And we're going to gear that with this Intimidate. So affected enemies also have their movement speed reduced by 56%. So if this Ground Stomp slow stacks with the Threatening Shout slow, you can Ground Stomp them. Then after the stun wears off, you can then Threatening Shout them, because you definitely don't want to Threatening Shout them right after you stun, because 1, they are stunned, therefore they're not going to be doing any damage, and 2, after they're stunned, that's when they're going to start doing damage. That's when you want to use your Threatening Shout. Alright, and also because you're gearing it with this right here, the Intimidate, their movement speed is reduced by 56. They're not moving anywhere when they're stunned, okay? So when you stun them, you want to wait for the stun to wear off, then you pop your movement speed reduction. That's if this stacks with the movement speed reduction of this Deafening Crash. If it does not stack with the Deafening Crash, you wait until the Deafening Crash falls off, which is the debuff. It falls off of them. No, they're no longer affected by it. Then you put your movement speed debuff back on them, so they're constantly slowed. The next one you want to equip is this Weapon Throw. So you want to be able to have a ranged attack on your Barbarian. If someone gets away from you and uses their escape mechanisms perfectly, when your leap attack and ground stop is down, then they're not going to be able to be hit by you. Therefore, you need some kind of skill, either Weapon Throw or this Ancient Spear, that can get them back over towards you. And also, this is a really good damage. This is a really good way to do damage, this weapon throw. And I'm going to equip it with the Mighty Throw, which increases weapon throw damage to 236%. So it's going to boost your weapon damage a lot. And you need to basically use this weapon throw to deal a lot of damage from a ranged area. So you're going to throw weapons. Maybe if somebody's going to get away, you could kill them with this weapon throw. If somebody's healing from a ranged, you can hit them with the weapon throw. And yeah, etc., etc. You can just it's just basically a good ranged attack that does a lot of damage. Alright. The next one's going to be Whirlwind. This is your bread and butter skill for when you're up close and personal with them, and they're maybe ground stomped or you just leaped attack. You're going to want to Frenzy up and Whirlwind, because remember, Frenzy is a damage buff as well as a attack speed buff. So keep your damage buff up at all times and Whirlwind them when you're in their face. When you have enough Fury to use Whirlwind, use it. So always build up your Frenzy and then Whirlwind it, because it's going to boost your damage. So there you go. Whirlwind. Also, you want to put it with a Hurricane, which increases the movement speed of your Whirlwind. It's reminiscent of Diablo II when Whirlwind was very slow. You were really, really slow. It's a slow animation. You can't really do much unless you have like an Enigma, and that's a armor which was able to teleport in Diablo II. So what Barbarians would do is either they would be very fast, have really high run speed, or they would have an Enigma and teleport onto players, and so they can get their Whirlwind off. Alright? So that was the only way you were going to do it, because Whirlwind has a really slow animation in Diablo 2, and that was a lot of reasons why people would get away, or it would be hard to kill people. It's because the Whirlwind was very slow, and you'd have to get up in their face with like either a teleport or a really, really fast run speed. So definitely want this fast Whirlwind here. This increased movement speed on the Whirlwind by 55%. That's a lot of movement speed increase. You're going to need that. So here we go. This is the new passive skills I was talking about. I have two new passive skills here. First one is going to be Juggernaut. So the duration of crowd control effects on you are reduced by 20%. In addition, whenever you become stunned, feared, or charmed, you recover 15% of your maximum life. So there's a lot of CC in this game, which is by what I mean by CC, it stands for crowd control. So if you're a part of a crowd and somebody's going to control you, meaning they're going to stun you, they're going to fear you, charm you, whatever. So you're controlled at that moment. So you're part of the crowd and you're getting controlled. So that's why we call it CC. So that's what you need. Anytime you're getting CC'd, you're going to need this because it's going to give you a lot of percent life back, especially when people stack CC. Alright, so when people stack CC on top of you, say you get stunned, into a fear, into a charm, into another stun. There's going to be more than one person on you, and people are going to want to do that type of thing to you. So being the high damage dealer that you are, you're going to be a threat to a lot of people, a lot of squishies. So they're going to want to CC you. And every time you get CC'd, you're getting 15% of your maximum life back. And that CC is reduced by 20%. So you definitely want the Juggernaut. You definitely want to be able to have the Juggernaut in PvP situations where you're going to get either stun locked or even just CC'd once. Your 15% of your life is back all the way up. So you keep the Juggernaut there. Next one is going to be Animosity. And this is basically going to give you increased Fury generation by 10%, and your maximum Fury is increased by 20%. So you definitely want to have that maximum Fury increase, and you're going to want that generation increase. Because anytime you're going to use your Fury skills, you definitely want to be able to gain more than, you were going to get. 10% more is definitely what you want, and maximum Fury is always good. So that's enough explanation of that one. And Nerves of Steel. Why? This is one of the newer skill. This is the newer skill for the passive. This is the newest one that they put out. So it says your defense is increased by 25% of your vitality. Maybe you guys thinking, oh, well, defense, that's only for physical. No, actually, defense includes physical and magical damage. So defense is for both. Armor is the one you're talking about for only physical. Okay, so if you're going against a physical-based team, and you know you're going versus a physical-based team, you can swap that with Tough as Nails. And by physical base team, I mean physical DPS team. Alright, so if most of the damage is coming from physical, you could do that. But also, if it's mostly ranged and magical DPS, you can go for superstition. But really, I would just go ahead and cover both bases with Nerves of Steel, because you never know. Someone might have a lot of elemental damage when you think it's going to be a physical based character. He has more elemental damage than physical, so just go ahead and get the Nerves of Steel. So your defense is increased by 25% of your vitality. As a barbarian, your vitality is going to be very high, so you definitely want to have the Nerves of Steel. So there you guys go. I hope that was informative to you, and it helped you guys out. Thank you guys for giving me really good comments and sticking with me. And yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already. And thank you guys for watching. Take it easy. Peace.